Well, good morning, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Behind the Mic. My name is Mike Avery. I'm here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio to record this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show. This is something I do usually Wednesday. I'm usually in here on Wednesdays, unless we're doubling up on shows to cover a hunting trip or something where I'm going to be out of town. That doesn't happen very often, maybe 3 times a year or so. Usually in the fall for hunting, my next trip will be UP, bear hunt with Johnny Bowler. And then I'll be down in Ohio, whitetail hunt. Hello, Cliff. Eli was in early this morning. Eli, nice to have you along with us. Cliff, always a pleasure. Joel, good morning. Brian, Brain. Hello, Craig. What are you doing up in Lupton, buddy? Hello, Julie. How you doing? My name is Mike Avery. This is another edition of Behind the Mic. Mike behind the mic. Carl, good morning. How are you? Chris checking in from a beautiful day in Kansas, the big buck state of Kansas. Although Chris, if I remember right, is actually a Michigan native. He moved out to the big buck state. Matthew, good morning, Matt. How are you? Bruce, Davina, always a pleasure, Davina. Hey, Randy, have you been fishing? Been after any perch? Randy, my new boat's done. Chilly and 48 in Vassar this morning. Cool. Corey, good morning. Ronnie, good morning. Between jobs. Davina says, Davina, you're not even going to let me get started. Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. Ross, he's all set up in Seney. He's heading back up in 2 days. Jake's driving north to the UP for the opening day of bear season right now. Mike's getting ready for the Liberty hunt. Excellent. Cliff, it's hump day. Ben says Lupton's a great spot. Tim, good morning. It is too early for Maker's Mark. But not when we meet tonight for Wednesday Night Live. That's my Wednesday after live. The blonde bear was very, very cool. I'm taking the 350 Legend for my Michigan bear hunt. Good morning, Joe. How are you? Things are looking good. Call meeting Monday. Fall is in the air. Your favorite time of year, I know. Jason checking in from the Ira Township Fire Department. Brian, good morning. How are you? Ross says, good luck to all the bear hunters heading out to the woods today. Absolutely. That 350 is going to get a workout this weekend, though. I'm taking my grandson Carter out. We're going over to my buddy Scott's place, who is so graciously allows us access to his piece of heaven. And we're going to go out Sunday. I might actually miss church Sunday morning and Sunday evening if we have to. And we're going to see if Carter can't put down a doe with that 350. It'll be the first time that gun has been out hunting. And then I'll use it again for my Michigan bear hunt coming up here in just a couple of weeks. Bear season is open today in the Newberry district in the UP. I thought none of the Michigan bear season's open until the 12th, but I have been informed that bear season actually starts in Michigan today, at least in the Newberry unit. Aiken, South Carolina. Tim, how are you doing? What's going on? Skeeter, good morning. How are you, buddy? Skeeter from Brenton is breaking in his 350 tonight, which means he won't be watching Wednesday Night Live because he'll be breaking in his 350. Mine's all broken in. Good morning, Johnny. That's right. You guys are hunting today. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, good luck. I'm shooting 180 grain. Skeeter, help me out. Federal? It's what you guys recommended. I think it's federal, 180 grain. It is 180 grain, though. Hey, Ron, how are things up in White River? Our good friend Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters wishing all the Michigan bear hunters good luck. It was nice to see you and Gibby and everybody up there, Ron. I look forward to coming up again next year. I remember that. Federal. I remember that, Tim. Michigan Outdoor Report, check it in. Don't forget, great giveaway going on. Skeeter, 180 grain. Chad's got a bunch of new kids. He hopes a bunch of new kids get hooked on hunting. I hope so as well. Good morning, Captain. How are you? Bill started shooting his broadheads only this week. He's excited. Bill Hoffman, who thought I didn't recognize him as he was coming off the field there in Grand Blanc after umping. I knew it was you, Bill. How would I ever forget the most interesting man in Michigan? Is near, I think you mean, Davina, is bear baiting legal? Yeah, you can bait bears in the lower. You just can't use anything that would attract deer. Johnny says he may or may not. Depends on if you've got a bear to go recover. Hey, Johnny? LOL right back to you, Bill. Yeah, so Johnny, your wife and daughter both have first season. Skeeter's helping me out here. Federal Power Shock, JSP 180 grain. Is that what you guys sent me out the door with, Skeeter? That's right. The Woods and Water Outdoor Show this weekend. Where'd that go? Yep, I will not be there. Because Saturday, we're going downstate. My daughter has another fitting for her wedding dress. I will not be in that fitting. That's my wife and daughter's thing. But I will be, thank you, Skeeter. I will be, I can't be watching the Michigan game because it's late. So maybe I'll go play a quick round of golf. I've been playing a lot of golf lately. I played golf 5 days in a row. I'm falling back in love with golf, of all things. Feral Hog. My bear season starts the 24th or 5th, whatever that Sunday is. Johnny, most importantly, my bear is safe. The big fat daddy is all chained up to a tree. So just remember, if you are hunting with Johnny Bowler, they have the third season. You will have a good chance hunting with Johnny of shooting a very nice bear. You're not going to, I can't comment on that, Bill. John says, good show on Camp Grayling. I was hesitant and reluctant to do that because it's real easy to get real far into the weeds on that topic. So I appreciate that, John. Ross is hunting with a 45-70. Bill says, okay. 325 grain, a 45-70 with a 325 grain bullet should put a hurting on a bear. I'm, you know what? If I would have got my Brenton just for bear hunting, I would have got a 450. But since, like, for example, my grandson Carter is going to use it, and I got the adjustable stock too. So at the 350, we can shorten the stock up. Carter's a small frame guy. He can shoot that gun, and then I can lengthen the stock out, and then I can use it for bear and later for deer as well. Although I can't get that excited about deer hunting. I'm excited about the youth hunt this weekend. I think it's a great deal, a great idea, a great concept, and I have no patience with the people who say the youth hunt is a bad thing. Ed counted 12 rabbits this morning. There we go. Scott says, walleye bite was hot this past Saturday. You're missing a skinny water bite right now. I don't doubt it, Scott. Ross has a bad shoulder after shooting that gun. So here's what I have to do, Scott. I've got to run my old boat up to Linwood Beach, and I've got to go out to St. Louis, either tomorrow or Friday, pick up my new boat. And honestly, I think I'm going to take it right to Linwood Beach, tell them to shrink wrap it. I'm pretty much done. Pretty much done for the year. But that's okay. I know I'm missing some great fall fishing, but every year in September, I pull the boat. And it just happened to work out this year where I got an old boat and a new boat. It's a good spot to be in. I realize that. But next spring, I won't have to mess around. I'll be ready to rock. Is the 45-70 a legal cartridge? I was thinking the cartridge did not meet the requirements. I don't know the answer to that, Wayne. I'm sure it's legal. Ross wouldn't be using it if it wasn't. Ross, can you comment on that? John can't stay long. CMU bass fishing team. Got to get to class, don't you, John? The 45-70 is an interesting, isn't that the old Buffalo cartridge, 45-70? If it's designed for game like that, it shouldn't have any problem with a bear. I'm so excited about bear hunting. I could care less about deer hunting, but I'm excited about bear hunting. And I am excited about anytime I can get out in the woods with a kid. So what else? Yes, Ross says, yes, it is a legal round. I figured it was, Ross. My buddy Ross would not be out there with something that was illegal to hunt with. He's not that kind of guy. Jeff, hey, how you doing, buddy? Okeechobee with four gator tags and a week for you. It should be fun. Oh, Jeff. Jeff lives in Michigan. He's made his career in Michigan, but his heart is in Florida. Morning, Pat.
Morning, sir.
His heart is in Florida. Johnny says it's a huge cartridge. Hey, Jen, how are you? Good point, Scott. If I would have got this 2 weeks earlier, I would have broken that motor in now, but I think I'll just wait and do it in the springtime. But no, I hear what you're saying. That's for sure. Say hi to Tim for me, Jen. Mike headed up to Jay's to grab a new 300 win for his October Colorado elk hunt. Nice, Mike. That sounds like fun. Say hi to my friends at Jay's. Hey, speaking of my friends, there's Lance Valentine. Lance, I got a guy who is looking at an angler quest to run charters on. He asked my opinion. I told him I thought it was a great boat. However, as you know, I'm not running. That's why I didn't. I'm a vampire, Pat. I'm a vampire.
Oh, sorry. These were closed the wrong way.
Well, they were closed that way intentionally.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. We're good. I did that by mistake. Anyway, Lance, he wants to run an angler quest for charters. I told him that I'm not really running charters. I take groups out, but I suggested he get in touch with you, and I suggested he get in touch with John Littlefield, and I gave him both your numbers. I hope you don't mind. Here we go. Another good friend of mine, Nick Grillo from Michigan Brand Meats, michiganbrand.net. That's michiganbrand.net. Make sure you check out the Mike Avery Hunter Sticks, as well as all the other great snacks. Nick, you and I haven't gotten together lately. We need to get together and do something fun, some fishing or some hunting or something. And aren't you going on your Ontario moose hunt here real soon, Nick? Okay. Yeah, I'll give him your email address. I did not give him your phone number. I will give him your email address, Lance. Walleye 101 info at gmail.com. If you want to get in touch with Lance Valentine, the Walleye Whisperer, not to be confused with Johnny Bowler, the Bear Whisperer. Lance, how's the fishing? Scott says the fishing's been real good out there. You still running charters? Hey, good morning, Ed. How are you? Always a pleasure to have you along with us, my friend. Are you looking forward to Ohio? That's coming up here in 5 weeks? Probably about that. Yeah, 5 weeks. Speaking of that, did you get the September record schedule? That'll work for you guys?
I did, yes.
Okay. All right. Johnny, I have something for you. It's been good when it's not too windy. Yeah. Speaking of the weather, I was out Saturday morning with my son James and granddaughter Addison, putting in some last minute food plots. And it was miserably hot and muggy. We knew some storms were coming in that afternoon. Went out in the afternoon and played some golf and got stuck in a really massive storm out there. 2 big cigars my cousin bought. Excellent, Johnny. I'll take them. I never turned down a good cigar. Well, I never turned down a bad cigar either. I like cigars. So it was interesting to see the change in weather. And isn't the nice, cooler weather right now wonderful? No, Jim, my new boat has a 300 Merc on it. I'm not swapping motors. We had talked about it. Davina, actually, I kind of hope they're not Cubans. I've never had a good Cuban cigar. I don't like Cuban cigars, although many of the Cubans you buy are counterfeit and they're not really Cubans. They're like Dominicans or something, which is okay. No, I'll take that back. My buddy Scott, who's letting us hunt on his property Sunday, he gave me the only Cubans that I know were really Cuban cigars, and they were good. So a real Cuban cigar is good. Roger checking in from Columbiaville. Jerry checking in from Algonac. Yeah, I know this whole boat thing has got me in a quandary here. My mind says hunting, but I know there's some great fall fishing out there too. I don't know. And since I got kind of re-addicted to golf, I got to work that into the whole schedule. Ed says real Cubans can be found in Sarnia. True. Tyler, how are you? I haven't talked to you for a while. How have you been? Anyway, my name is Mike Avery. This is another edition of Behind the Mic. It's Mike Behind the Mic. I'm here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio to record this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show. Coming up this week, can I grow worthy food plots in this West Michigan sand? I would like to, but don't feel like investing in it if it's not going to produce without tons of work. No time. I hear you. If Nick Percy of Killer Food Plots was still with us, I would send you his direction. He can grow a food plot. He could, when he was still with us, he could grow a food plot on an asphalt parking lot. However, we lost Nick last fall, actually, to COVID. So he was my go-to guy, Jeff. I don't even know what to tell you. John finally quit fishing for a while, shot his bow. Marty says, let me break in the new motor. Good morning, Billy. How are you? Pat checking in from Commerce Township. Coming up on this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show, which is why I'm here in the studio, Jim Felgenauer talking about fishing sturgeon in the St. Clair River and more. I want to get his reaction to some comments Amy Trotter of MUCC made on my Wednesday Night Live. Golf, fish, hunt. Tough choices there, Mike. I know, Scott. Life is tough. I am blessed, and I know that every day. I want to get his reaction to some comments Amy Trotter made on Wednesday Night Live, and I'll leave it at that. In hour number 2, and when you see the rundown, you'll go, I'm sandbagging this week. I am sandbagging this week. Jim Felgenauer, a great talker. Tom Lounsbury, another great talker, talking about small game hunting. Nick Green of MUCC. This week's Ask Avery question about why I really am indifferent to deer hunting these days. And in our third hour, Mark Martin talking about fall fishing. Plus, we wrap it all up with a wild game chef extraordinaire, Dixie Dave Miner. So a little inside baseball. Pat knows what I'm talking about. That is a sandbag lineup rundown. It's like, okay, all I got to do is ask about 4 questions for the whole show and I'm done. Nick says, awesome. Love sturgeon fishing. Me and my cousin went last week. He got 2 58-incher and a 16-incher. They're one of my favorite fish. So cool. Randy, I'm not swapping motors. I got a new one. All right, Johnny. I appreciate that. Good luck. A nice Oliva Milano last night. I don't even know what it is, but I'm going to try it. Richard said, hopefully this weekend, daughter get her first deer. That would be very cool, Richard. I'll look forward to the pictures. Saddle hunting. Yeah, it's the hot new thing these days. Watching from the bear blind in Maine. Good luck, Eric. All right, John. See you tonight. Sherry checking in from Poseyville. Good morning, Sherry. How are things in Poseyville? Good morning, David. Nice to have you along with us on this edition of Behind the Mic. What else? There was something, a comment triggered something I wanted to follow up on, and I don't know what it was. Let's see if I can find it. No, not swapping motors, Randy. I got a new motor. I got to break it in. Oh, Nick talking about sturgeon. Nick, here, that's what it was. Let me find your comment again, Nick. Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand Meats. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Good friend of mine. Blessed to work with him and his family at Michigan Brand Meats. But Nick is a hardcore outdoorsman. This guy loves to hunt. He loves to fish. And he spends far more time in the woods and on the water than I do, for sure. Good morning, Lee. There you go. How are you? Jeremy, good morning. Richard, Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. There, we got that out. Where are the elk pictures? I haven't had an elk picture. Nobody has sent me an elk picture. But, okay, speaking of pictures, I'm going to get a lot of deer pictures from the youth hunt this weekend, and I want to see them, and I want to share them. I want to post them. Please, if you are going to do that, the best way to get those pictures to me is to send me an email, mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com, mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com, or post them directly on the Facebook page under the mentions tab. Please do not send them to me in a private message. because I will be overwhelmed with pictures this weekend. I want to share them all. But when you send them to me in a private message, number one, I might not see them. I might miss them because of a lot of other things going on. And also, to be honest, from a purely logistical point of view, it takes me about 3 extra steps to post them to the page if you do that. And if I've got 200 pictures, those 3 extra steps take a long time. So post them directly to the Facebook page, 90 seconds, under the mentions tab, and I will share them. Or send them to me via email, Mike at MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Mike Avery. That white bear, yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Tasteful pics. That's one of my topics. Thank you, Jim. Please, please, please put the tongue back in the animal's mouth. Otherwise, it looks like a cartoon, Put the animal's tongue back in its mouth. And yeah, maybe wipe up some of the extra excessive blood too. I mean, don't we owe the animals that kind of respect? I think we do. Oh, he's caving into the anti-hunters. He's worried about the blood. That's not it at all. Not it at all. Deer picks. Captain Jim, I'm making myself deer picks. Making myself a note. I'll get to it sometime here. In just a few seconds here, I got to switch gears. 30 seconds. I got to switch gears here. This Behind the Mic live stream will continue. Did we do a mic check?
We did.
We did? I don't even know it.
Oh,
my goodness. Pat's on top of things. I'm dealing with a crack team here, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, I will switch gears. I will, yes, please put the gator's tongue back in its mouth too. 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. See? All right, so I'm going to switch gears. I'm not going to be talking to this microphone. I'm going to be talking to this microphone. You will be able to continue to see me, but if you ask me a question, I'm not going to be able to directly respond. Okay? If you do want to join me tonight at 7 o'clock for another edition of Wednesday Night Live, then we can have a conversation and interact. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Keep an eye on that big lug of a husband. Great guy. You married a great guy, but you know that. By Michigan brand meats. Now, here's Mike Avery. Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine show right here on the Outdoor Magazine Radio Network. More than 30 stations across the great state of Michigan, here for 3 hours every week, talking about the great outdoors, the history and tradition of hunting and fishing and shooting and trapping and wildlife and conservation issues and some wild game cooking as well. Pat, can you tweak my phones up just a little bit, please? I would appreciate that. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Anyway, my name is Mike Avery, and we're here to celebrate the outdoors. The outdoors here, primarily in the great state of Michigan. And what a great time of year it is. This month of September, the weather feels so much better, doesn't it? At least for the most part. I was out last weekend with my son, James, and granddaughter, Addison, and we were putting in some last-minute food plots, and it was so hot and so muggy. And so, I mean, it was miserable. It was almost unbearable. You couldn't move without being drenched in sweat. Got those in, though, just in time for the afternoon rains. And after the rains came in, the temperature dropped, and it's been beautiful the entire week. Now, I know, look, at this time of year, the weather can go up and down, but the nights are usually cooler, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful time of year to get out and do some late summer, early fall fishing. Some of the best fishing of the year coming up here in the next 6 weeks, 2 months until it ices up. I do think, unfortunately, my fishing's done for the year. I know. I'm missing some great fall fishing. I get that. And to make it even more enticing, the new angler quest I've been waiting for all summer is ready to rock. But I'm not now. So maybe she will patiently wait all winter long. And when springtime rolls around, when I'm ready again, she will be ready to go. But I'm kind of in a hunting mode right now. Especially this weekend here with the youth season, the youth hunt. It's the Liberty Hunt, but from my perspective, it's the youth hunt. I will be out there. At least we plan to be out with my grandson Carter. My good friend Scott is allowing us to hunt his beautiful piece of heaven, his well managed and manicured and beautiful piece of land for the youth hunt. For us, it's a does only hunt, which I kind of think the youth hunt should be anyway. But Carter will be the first one to hunt with that new Brenton 350 Legend. And I'm hoping that he can knock down a big doe. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be a great way to kick off the fall hunting season? Now, there will be a lot of deer pictures sent to me over this weekend from the youth hunt, and I appreciate that. I want to see them all, and I want to share them all. But please, if you would, for the sake of good taste, I don't want to say sanitize the pictures, but I'm going to say clean them up a little bit. I mean, as hunters, we get it. We know that when you shoot an animal and you make a quick, clean, humane killing shot, that there's oftentimes a lot of blood, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's good. I get that. As a hunter, I get that. But when we start posting our pictures on social media, we have to remember that not all the people who see those pictures are going to be of the same mindset as we are. And I'm not caving into the anti-hunters here because I could care less about the anti-hunters. In fact, any chance I get to rile them up, I'm all in. But it's the non-hunters I'm concerned about. The people, the 80% of people in the state of Michigan who don't hunt and just have no frame of reference. If they see us posting online gory, bloody, disrespectful pictures with the animal's tongue hanging out, which is my pet peeve, it makes us look bloodthirsty and dumb. And we're not bloodthirsty and we're not dumb. So take a second, especially for this youth hunt, especially for the youth hunt, because these pictures of these kids' deer, maybe the first deer they ever shot, is something you're going to be looking at for the next 40, 50 years. So maybe move the animal a few feet off to the side, put him in a little cleaner surrounding. And please, 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 whatever you do, put the deer's tongue back in its mouth. I have seen so many pictures, beautiful pictures of smiling kids with a nice animal, a beautifully framed shot, the light on them just perfectly, and the animal's tongue is hanging out like a cartoon character. I think that is so unfortunate. That is the word I'll use, unfortunate. So yes, send me the pictures. I want to see the pictures, but make them look nice. Please, please, please. So what else is going on? The youth hunt this weekend. Bear season is now open in Michigan. Not for me yet, but it's open here in Michigan. Same thing with the bears. I want to see your bear pictures. I love sharing pictures of successful hunts. And by successful, I mean with people sitting over an animal. We know a hunt is not judged or gauged by whether you get an animal or not. But in those cases when you do, I love to see those pictures. I love to share them. Small game season now just around the corner. That is a season that is often overlooked here in our state, and I'm as guilty as anybody. I'm likely to be talking about bear hunting. I'm likely to be talking about deer hunting. I'm likely to be talking about turkey hunting. But I don't talk about small game hunting as much as I should. And that's on me. That's a bad thing for me to do. Because for many of us, that's how we got started hunting, was with small game. In my case, it was chasing rabbits and squirrels. Early in the season, this time of year, I'd go out in the woods behind the house. And I was lucky. I grew up on the west side of the state. At the time, it was fields and farms and woodlots and ponds and creeks. And I know it's creek, but I'm going to say crick because I want to say crick. And back then, we knew all the neighbors. In fact, I had worked for most of them. And there was no such thing as property lines or leases. I could take off and walk out the back door with a shotgun or a 22, and I could wander till my heart's content. And that's how I learned a lot about hunting. And that's how I think I developed this passion for the outdoors, was chasing rabbits. Well, squirrels early in the season, and then pheasants. And then when the snow fell, we were chasing rabbits. Small game hunting. Oh, what else? I talked about the youth hunt. I am a big fan of the youth hunt, and I have very little tolerance for those who gripe about it and cry about it. They say, "Oh, those kids haven't earned their deer." Well, why should they have to earn their deer in today's world when the goal should be to get young people interested in hunting? Why should we make them wait until the middle of November when it's cold and nasty and the deer have been hunted for 6 weeks? And in many parts of the state, once the first shot is fired, they don't come out during daylight. Why should we make these kids earn that deer? Why wouldn't we want to give them a season early in the season, early in the fall, like right now, when honestly the deer haven't been hunted yet, right? They're not as wary as they're going to be later on. The temperatures are a little more comfortable. Why not? Well, I don't like it because, those kids are not going to be hunters for the rest of their life anyway. We're just letting them take an easy deer. Well, okay. Even if they decide not to hunt later on, they will at least have been exposed to hunting. And they might look at issues later in life when they're asked to vote on hunting related issues from a more educated point of view. Well, the youth hunt, the parents are just shooting the deer anyway. Well, I'm sure that happens to some extent. And in those cases, the shame on the adult who did that. That person is a violator. They are a criminal and they are a dirtbag. I would like to see the youth hunt be does only. That would take some of the social pressure off with the people whining about the kid shooting your big buck that you've been watching all summer long. The one that you put on your hit list, and the one that you named, and the one that you have trail camera pictures of, and the one that you have sheds of because you've been watching too many outdoor television deer hunting shows, right? I think we've lost the essence of what deer hunting should be. And that's why I just can't get that excited about deer hunting myself, except for to take like my grandson out, to take a kid out. But that's just me. What else is going on? Coming up on this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show after the break here, Jim Felgenauer talking about sturgeon fishing on the St. Clair River. Jim is also a very avid and involved conservationist, hunter, angler. I want to get his thoughts on some of the things going on in Michigan these days in hour number 2 to try to make up for my shortfalls of not talking about small game hunting enough. Tom Lounsbury will join me to talk about that and more. Nick Green of MUCC and the Ask Avery segment. I'll follow up on what deer hunting in Michigan has become today. And in our third hour, we're talking with Mark Martin, Michigan's Mr. Walleye, about some fall fishing opportunities. And of course, wild game chef extraordinaire Dixie Dave Miner wraps it all up. My website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. And the email address, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Feel free to reach out to me. Send me your pictures of your youth hunt. If you're going to send me pictures, again, I want to see them. Post them to the mentions tab on the Facebook page or send me an email to Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors. Please don't send them to me through the social media messaging platforms. It's too easy for me to overlook them and get lost. Again, my name is Mike Avery. This is the Outdoor Magazine radio show. I'm going to be here for the next 3 hours talking about hunting and fishing and shooting and trapping and all things fun, all things legal, all things biologically sound. We'll be back after the break right here on Outdoor Magazine. Randy, I can't wait to respond to this. That's what we did. Where is it? That's what we did, and we still hunt. We baby kids these days. I don't disagree that we baby kids these days. But kids these days are used to being babied. And if we want them to be involved in this hunting tradition, we have to give them opportunities to get involved other than what you and I did. Sitting on a stump November 15th when it was 20 degrees out, freezing our butts off. How many of these kids today do you think would be involved in hunting if they had to wait for that? Yep, I agree with you, Lance. All right, my friends, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. So I'll see you tonight, 7:00 for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Have a good day.